up, everybody? I'm Sal Klein. This is Reggie Steele. And welcome to Spitballin. Spitballin.
No.
You big mama.
I am a big
What's up, everybody? I'm Sal Kalani. This is Reggie Steele.
And welcome to Spitballin, y'all.
All right, we got the new little setup here. We'll see how this goes. We got microphones like professionals.
Wait, are we recording right now?
Yeah, buddy. We've been recording the whole time.
Damn, Sal, don't be letting nobody know. We'll just be going right into it. Yeah, let me turn this around so no one can see my Yeti, unless you want to sponsor us, Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have your product in our view. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they coming direct to you.
Word. What do they say?
Wow.
Wow. So, anything happened this week, Reg? Anything?
Oh, man. The whole world is in chaos right now.
Chaos.
I wouldn't even say the whole world is in chaos. I'll say our POTUS, or as I call them, our POS, TUS.
Divider in chief.
The divider in chief is like dividing the country even more after this. People have been calling it assassination. I won't call it assassination.
I mean, it's an assassination. I'd say it's
an assassination.
Yeah, he was targeted and he killed him.
Okay. This guy named
Charlie Kirk. So here I got some videos here. I pulled up. Everybody's got an opinion. There's a lot going on. It is very heated. The president just throws gasoline on the problem. He's horrible at uniting. The governor of
He has no
Utah
desire to unite us.
Yeah, even the day it happened, the governor of Utah I thought was way more presidential than the president ever did. But now, well,
I mean, but even then, afterwards, he's like, I was praying for 33 hours that this person was going to be someone from a different country, someone not from here. And basically, he was hoping it was going to be an outsider.
Yeah, so California liberal Democrat.
Yeah, someone who didn't have the same views as the guy that got shot.
So it's like, don't tell us about we're dividing the country. You guys in power are all about dividing the country. It's a constant thing. There's two sides in their heads at all times.
Yeah, they stoke the flames of division. I think the most hypocritical thing for me personally, on a lot of levels, is, it's this guy. Condolences to his family and friends. Life was taken by someone else, but there was also a politician in Minnesota, Melissa Horton, whose life was taken in the name of politics. She and her husband and their dog were killed in their homes while they slept, no less. Not when they were out in the street, not when she was out working, not when she was doing anything politically motivated. She was literally at home sleeping and was killed. But the president has never.
He wouldn't even call Minnesota.
He didn't even call him. He didn't go to the funeral. He's chosen not to.
No one would even
that.
Put anything on publicly. Look how many Democrats said something right after Kirk got assassinated, but nobody from the right said anything after the Minnesota shooter both got shot. And that kind of hypocrisy is why people, they're kind of just like indifferent to a lot of this.
Well, and then you have people saying, the radical. It's so funny because for the longest, this is what the right always does, and what Republicans and conservatives have done throughout history is that whatever's been used against them, then they take ownership of it and use it against the other person. Which, I guess that's what it is, right? Like there's a saying, never bring a weapon into a battle unless you know how to use it, because your assailant will take that weapon and use it against you.
Yeah, like the constant hypocrisy now with the cancel culture. They're just trying to cancel anybody who talks about it. And it's like, you're not like, this is another thing, that kind of hypocrisy. So the guy from MSNBC, he basically, what did he say? He was basically saying.
He just said that he basically pointed out that Charlie Kirk was not an angel, that he had said some things that were inflammatory.
It wasn't anything very bad at all.
He actually said things that Charlie Kirk said.
Right.
He didn't make up anything.
Right.
He said things that he actually said, and they were like, "Oh, you're fired." There's another woman who just got fired from the Wall Street Journal.
Really?
For saying something, for quoting Charlie Kirk.
Meanwhile, the guy on Fox talks about killing homeless people, and he just apologized today, but he's not fired. And that's where I'm like, Democrats gotta stop being pussies. You have to play their game. I don't care if it sounds crass or not. I'm sick of it, dude. You know who would be president right now if they weren't such pussies? Al Franken. All right? But no, he put his arm around someone, and now it's a big disaster.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, what we have going on, because you want to be on the higher ground, you can't be on the higher ground. You can try that, but then you're going to lose to the devil.
See,
all right?
I'm torn about that because I've encountered a lot of people lately who have been like, I don't like the Democrats and I don't like the Republicans. And personally, I'm always going to side with the person who has some boundaries, has rules, has restrictions, has some heart, has some civility, right? Like in essence, what people are saying is, they play dirty, we got to play dirty. Look,
yeah, I ain't saying dirty, but hey, you got to play their rules. The game is different right now.
Yeah, I get it. The game is different, and look, I'm all behind Gavin Newsom right now.
Yeah, and don't forget, everyone, our next president of the United States, Gavin Newsom, had Charlie Kirk on his podcast. He was his very first guest. But that shows that Gavin was like, all right, hey, this kid's popular. I'm going to reach out and we'll debate, okay? And that's the thing, though. When you're face-to-face with people, a lot of this stuff goes, you know what I mean? It's all hype until you're face-to-face.
I personally got a problem with people legitimizing this guy. I mean, he was He was self-taught.
I'm trying to make him a saint.
He dropped out of college, so it wasn't like he learned from people with a higher education or better understanding of things. He's kind of self-taught, and you can hear that in a lot of the rhetoric that he had or things that he said. He would throw out all these numbers and he'd throw out all these percentages and he'd make all these statements, but they would always get fact-checked to not be true, or they would bring in the whole context of the thing and proves it to not be legitimate. But that's not what it's about. It was, for the other side, it's never really been about facts and truth. It's about what can I say to rile up my base and to speak to the other young people who don't know. So if I sit here and I say 97% of young white males are racists and believe that they aren't getting a fair chance at being who they're supposed to be in life. Mm-hmm. I can make that statement. It's not true. Mm-hmm. It's not accurate. But because I throw out 97% a number and then I say it with some authority, then it sounds like it's true. But of course that's not true. Now, a lot of young white males do feel displaced based on the fact that Charlie Kirk had a platform and people were listening to him. And his demographic was between 18 to 25 or 27 or whatever. Like, he's trying to target a whole generation of people, of young people in colleges and institutions and wherever else, but he wasn't accurate, man. And look, in hindsight, I have listened to a lot of the things that he said, a lot of the rhetoric that he spewed out, and my response to that is, for a lot of people, and I'm telling you, I'm going to be upfront with you, I have unfriended, unfollowed, and blocked a lot of people.
This week?
This week, absolutely. Primarily because my issue is this. Even if you agree with some of his ideas about family structure or Christianity or whatever the case may be, the fact that you're willing to overlook all of the other heinous things that he said, all of the other racist things that he said, the sexist things that he said, the misogynistic things that he said, the homophobic things that he said, the transphobic things that he said.
Well,
the fact that you're willing to look past all that and like the two things that you agree with, I can't get behind that.
No, man.
Right? For me, it's like this. A broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're stupid.
It's selective outrage, man.
Yeah.
They weren't outraged about other stuff. So, like you said, Charlie Kirk's own words. So it's like, I don't care that he's dead. He's not a hero. He's a scumbag. He shouldn't be celebrated. That's not us talking about Charlie Kirk. That's Charlie Kirk's own words talking about George Floyd.
Oh, wow. That's a direct quote from Charlie. Charlie.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
like and that's the thing, people, your family man. If you look at, there's tons of documented footage of him being racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. You're not going to call that shit out?
Hey, man, look, I'm not going to share explicit details just because I know people and they know me and they may know this person, but I had a very heated exchange with someone right when
right?
No, right when it happened, because what happened was someone said to me, "Hey, Charlie Kirk was shot," and I go, "Who is that?" And they go, "You don't know who that is?" And I go, "No, I didn't know who he was by name." And then they showed me a picture, and I go, "No, that guy." They're like, "Yeah." And at that time, it had just happened, so we didn't know the outcome of it. I made a statement, and someone else heard that statement that I made, and they were very upset with me. They were very upset with the statement.
You can't. What was the statement?
I basically said, I said I would never relish or celebrate someone being shot or killed or hurt or injured, right? But I said, but in this situation, and not knowing the outcome of what it was, right? Like not knowing what had happened fully, I said, am I upset that he got shot? And I go, no. And then the person just went off.
That was it?
That was it. But they went because they felt a certain type of way. Right. Now, this is someone that I do respect and someone that I have a relationship with and a friendship with on a certain level. And so he and we discussed it. And in that discussion, we got deeper about what it was and what happened. And just we basically broke it down to brass tacks of here, regardless of what he said and what he has done over the years, whatever, it was a person whose life was taken by violence, and that person had a wife and had kids and had friends and had family. And
yeah, the violence ain't the answer.
Yeah, exactly. So as a human being who cares and who has empathy and sympathy, and as a person who has lost people in a number of different ways, be it illness, cancer, sickness, disease, or violence, or whatever the case may be, I do sympathize and I have condolences for people who are victims or who are on the other side.
Totally. Yeah.
So
I remember seeing there was
my comments were insensitive, and I apologize for it.
His clip of his daughter running to him, and you're like, oh man. All right, this was something very interesting to me, and I really liked what this guy said. Pastor Howard John Wesley.
Oh yeah, I've been listening to this. I've listened to this like 10 times.
Yeah, so we'll play for everyone else.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life. I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live. I am overwhelmed.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, that line, how you die does not redeem how you lived.
Right.
And the fact that the country asked us to, mourn the loss or recognize, like, half-mast flags.
Right, and now Trump wants to put them in the rotunda. It's only been done for presidents or military, and that's not what America's about. You're not supposed to put just some podcaster because they had right-wing views like you. That's not what this country is. And then the Congress, they did have a moment of silence for him in Congress, and then they tried to say a prayer during it, and then the Democrats booed him down. So they weren't pussies that time. Mad respect. And you don't fucking bring religion into the government. That is in the Constitution.
Yeah, separation of church
The
and state.
founding fathers were, that's appalling to me, that how often they want to smash. That's what I hate. I love this country. And to me, Trump has been this orange cancerous tumor that's been on our back for 10 years. And we can't, and finally we'll be able to cut it off when he gets out of office. But it's just poison, man.
Yeah, man, the way these guys are going, they're trying to rig the system where they're never
Of course. And now it's...
yeah, man, it's just, as a person of color in this country, to actually have to look at money that has racist presidents on, Andrew Jackson, which was one of the worst.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And to be in a situation
started the Trail of Tears.
Yeah, exactly. So to be in a situation where they're asking everyone in the country
get out of here
to mourn the loss of this guy, and just based on his views alone, it's like, look, like I said, I'm sorry, and I'm sad that he was killed the way he was. Like the pastor said, I abhor the violence that took his life, but there's no way I can look past statements and comments that he made about any number of people in this country.
Right. It's not a martyr.
Yeah. And
so,
but the people in charge. I mean, it's obvious to me that they have picked and chose the parts of him that they want to celebrate, and then they've chosen to ignore, or not even ignore, but just accept the parts of him or the things that he said that were...
It's selective rage.
Yeah. And
you just pick and choose, and it's gross.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing I love about the young generation, though, they're pretty, a lot of them are pretty well informed, and they stay on top of it. And this girl, they interviewed her quickly on campus.
I actually want to say something about this. If you're going to spread hateful shit and you're going to target marginalized groups of people, don't be all, oh my God, I've been shot. I won't get shot because I don't do that. I don't have to worry about that. I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for his wife. I feel bad for his daughter. He did that to himself. You want to talk about all this crazy shit? Don't act crazy when other people are going to fucking come and shoot you.
Do you think your life should be in danger for having an opinion?
If it targets marginalized groups of people, yes. You are spreading hateful speech. It's not like I have an opinion about if I like ketchup or mustard. No, you're talking about people of groups, marginalized people. Those are hateful. That is hateful speech. If someone went and killed him.
She's right, dude.
Yeah, she's right. I look at it's so...
You see how people get so riled, too. And I'm going to say this, man. His last words, that's what he's doing. It's marginalized people. It's 5 people were trans shooters, and it was a little smuggy. He's like, too many, right? But then the kid was asking him the question, was saying...
he said mass shooters.
Yeah, he said, how many mass shooters have been trans? And Charlie Kirk says, too many. And then...
Have there been any?
There's been, the college kid who asked the question replied with his, there's been 5, okay? And then there's been...
In the history of the world?
No, in the past 10 years. Okay. And then there's been 3,300 or so mass shootings total.
No, but I'm talking about trans mass shooters.
There's been 5 trans mass shooters out of 3,300 mass shooters in the past 10 years. Okay. And that's like 0.000 whatever percent. So to demonize such a small percentage like that, that's, it's just ridiculous. That's not what the problem is. Look at the numbers. I mean, look at the numbers.
It's what Pete Buttigieg, I can't say his last name. He has a great interview where the interviewer was asking him about, whether trans people or whether immigrants or whatever marginalized group of people. Mm-hmm. And he basically broke it down. He goes, trans people they make up 1% of the population. 1%. Yeah. He goes, immigrants make up 1% of the population as far as the people in this particular category they were talking about. And he goes, our focus is on the wrong 1%. Yeah. We need to be focusing on the billionaires who are making decisions that are directly impacting our lives every day. See, this is the question I have. And I've asked this to a coworker, actually, of mine that that made some statements about trans athletes in sports, or no, he was talking about immigrants, and and I said, tell me this: how do immigrants negatively impact your life every day?
Yeah.
How do they negatively impact your life? Positively, they're cleaning the hotel rooms you're staying in. They're making the beds that you're staying in. They're cleaning up the bathrooms that you stay in. They're cooking the food that you eat. They're picking the food that you eat. They're taking care of the kids that you have. They are cleaning your homes. They are cutting your grass. They're building the houses. How do they negatively impact you every day?
Right.
And he couldn't answer the question. This is a guy who was against immigrants and whatever the case may be. And I would extend that question to the next person. I go, well, how do trans people negatively impact your life every day?
They don't. Yeah.
They don't.
It's so ridiculous.
So the idea that you're upset with this 1% of a population that does not negatively impact your life has an impact on you when you don't look at the fact that the other 1% that absolutely, the billionaires that absolutely negatively impact your life every day. Gas prices, grocery prices, housing prices, the fact that they're taking away your health care, the fact that they're trying to take away your Social Security, they are directly impacting your ability to live and function on a daily basis. But somehow they have you believing that the issue is not them who have the means and the ability to directly impact your life every single day, and you feel it. They have you looking at the people on the side who do not affect you at all negatively.
Yeah.
So
the 1%, that's what you want, though. Billionaire 1% is who you need to go after.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And it's more of us than them. It's like, come on, man.
It's
we talk about
ridiculous.
strength in numbers, and numbers don't lie. Yeah, we are the masses. The regular person, we are the masses. Yeah, they got a lot of money. The thing is that you have to not be influenced by the rhetoric. You cannot be influenced by the manipulation, by their bullshit, the ads. It's like, and this frustrates me so much because I am watching them systematically destroy our ability to learn and to teach education. And the reason why they do that is because an uninformed, uneducated populace is easier to manipulate and to control. So think about this. Think about this. The fact that they're trying to take away your ability to get an education and telling you you don't need to go to college, telling you you don't need an education, telling you you don't need to be in these institutions, but at the same time, they're sending their kids to those same institutions.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like, yo, what does it take?
Yeah.
It's like, read between the lines.
Yeah.
Why is someone telling you it's the perfect case of do as I say and not like I do.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Same thing when he was all shitting on vaccines and he was getting vaccinated.
Exactly. He's like, you don't need the vaccines, it's a hoax. And he's like,
get me to the hospital.
He's like, pump me up, doc. Right? It's like, it's so annoying. But the people, it's up to us. The people, you have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone.
You have to be willing to learn.
Well, you got to be curious.
Yeah.
Just be curious. That's all I'm asking. Look, just be curious. Ask the questions. Why?
Yeah, don't judge.
Why? Okay, they want to get rid of all the immigrants. Okay, why? What do the immigrants do? Right? Now they're talking about crops or fields of crops are dying on the line, which is funny to me because they want to go get the immigrants, the people who work the fields and do the job, but then they don't want to go after the people who hired them and paid them.
Greg Giraldo,
right? Like, it's a two-way street, right? These people didn't show up and demand to start working in their fields. No, these people hired them. So you want to demonize the people who actually do the work and do the job, who are making life a little bit easier for you. You want to demonize them, but then you don't want to point the finger at the person who's actually paying them, the person who's actually hiring them, the person who's actually picking them up and dropping them off. Come on, man, you got to think.
Now with the colleges you were talking about, did you know this? The very next day, there was plenty of fake swatting calls or whatever of gun threats. Yeah, and the majority were black colleges.
Oh,
I'm like, and black people had nothing to do with this.
And my name Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Yeah.
Right? But that just goes to show. That goes to show that what his rhetoric, the type of rhetoric that he spewed, what kind of impact it had, that when he lost his life, their idea of revenge was, we're going after black people.
Yeah, which
is
no sense.
Like, it was in Utah. Ain't no black people in Utah. Karl Malone moved back to Louisiana, so he ain't there no more. You can't blame him. So but that just goes to show, right? Like that's a perfect example of something bad happens, and that the people who followed him immediately were like, "We got to get back at black people." And black people don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
We don't follow him. We don't listen to him. We don't acknowledge. I didn't even know who to do. I did not know who he was by name. Now I had seen his face, and I had heard some of the things he said. I'd listened to a number of things on in different.
I knew who he was.
And
I watched the South Park, but there was a good. But I took that down now, so I'm glad I got to watch it when I could. But even Charlie Kirk was a fan of the South Park app because he constantly will drink his water and he'll set down his mic and just like wait, and they mimicked it perfectly. You know what I mean? Yeah. You talk about people back home.
I turned it off. I was like, this is crazy.
So so I got into it with someone back home, and so this is a guy, an artist. I respect it, you know, and but you know, people still back home in Ohio, and he he shared this video. Everyone's got to see this video, so I'm like, all right, I'll watch the video. I'll give it a shot, and it's about this guy who ex-FBI, CIA, I don't know, some kind of copper guy talking about division and how they're all just trying to divide us, and how there's these, the threats or whatever, all the division. So I watch it, and first off, they're talking about his good man, Charlie Kirk. And I'm like, all right, here he starts. And then it goes and shows all these news clips of the division. It's only MSNBC and like one CNN clip. And I go, what the fuck? I'm like, this is not, there's no Fox, there's no mention of Trump. And then this is where it hit me across the line, is when then they start doing the Martin Luther King comparisons. And there's something, well, they were really comparing him to MLK. You're showing it on purpose. And then I got so mad, and I told this guy, and then that's what really started it, because he thought it was just to me, it's some right-wing propaganda that he is veiling as something to bring people together. And if he doesn't realize that, well, then you got to learn. You're going to have to open your eyes, man, because that is such... It grossed me out. Yeah. Especially as an artist, that's gross to me.
Yeah, it's disgusting to try to compare someone who spoke of division.
Yeah.
Who spoke of division, comparing him to someone who spoke of unity and nonviolence and peace. Yeah. I mean, he was fighting for...
And then his friends would put like there's a meme of the two of them. They were both debaters, and all his friends are liking it. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. When I say, like, the people like that, I didn't grow up there. I saw the racism. Like, you and I both, people were like, you guys don't know any skinheads. You don't know any Klan members. Alabama, Ohio, I knew a guy, he was a fucking neo-Nazi. He ended up freaking in jail for, like, 3 years because they kidnapped a half-black, half-white kid. Like, this is my high school, dude. Like, don't tell me. I saw the shit every day. I didn't talk about it because you're growing up as a kid. You don't know. Yeah. And then you just see it. And now when you see it and you can't call it out, get the fuck out.
Well, and this is the thing. Let's be honest. All those people in those organizations and people who have those feelings, they got smart, right? They got smart. They took off the hood and they put on a button-up shirt and some khakis, and they ran for office, right? Yeah. Because they realized it was too obvious it was too easy for them to be recognized.
Yeah.
They stopped shaving their head. They let their hair grow back, and they stopped wearing the military boots, and they put on, I don't know, fucking penny loafers and slacks, right? So when you say we don't know anyone like that, we absolutely know people like that, because this is what they do. They conveniently ignore you. Mm-hmm. They kind of just get up and move when you sit down. They move to completely different neighborhoods, or they pass laws where their schools get all the money and your schools don't get any of the money.
Right.
Or they redline you so you can't buy a house in their neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Or you move into the neighborhood and then they just so politely and quietly just kind of move out of the neighborhood. So for you to sit there and say that I don't know, it's an insult. Because right. I don't need someone to beat me over the head and say, I'm a racist and I hate black people. No, right. Your actions will always speak louder than your words. Mm-hmm. So you can smile in my face all day and say, "Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Oh, how's the family? How's the kid? How's the blah, 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 blah." And then you don't hire me. You don't promote me. You don't allow me to work in the same businesses. You don't recommend me for the job. Right? You don't allow me to live in the same neighborhood. You don't allow someone who looks like me to date your daughter. So I don't need you to tell me to my face that you don't like me.
Right.
Your actions do it clearly.
I was talking to Matt yesterday, and he also grew up. He's in the South, Louisiana, but he was saying some of the most racial shit he ever experienced was when he was in Illinois. And then my old boss, he was gay. He grew up in Kentucky. He said the most prejudice he felt was in Ohio, up near in northern Ohio. And to me, like, dude, I would hear, and I think what it is because there's black people in the South. So when there's a place where there's no black people around, people get comfortable. And I mean, I'd hear the N-word every day, like every week at least.
Wow.
You know, family, people at school, whatever. So like, it was a constant thing of like, and it's when it's segregated, and that's all it is in the end. People aren't around each other. When you're around each other, you realize how stupid any of those fears are. You can say I'm not racist, but it's still, you're not comfortable around it.
Yeah. I mean, access. Everyone needs access, man. It's just the whole thing is dumb. For me personally, when I think about it, I look at the history of this country. I look at how black people have been treated throughout this country, or even just minorities. Period.
Yeah.
The fear that white people have of people of color or marginalized groups is they know, I think deep down, they know that they have been fucked up.
They did y'all wrong.
They did us wrong. They did everybody wrong, right? They've done everybody wrong every chance they get. And the fear is, what if they try to get us back?
Yeah.
What if they actually did to us the shit that we did to them?
Right? There's a... Yeah, remember Bowling for Columbine. That's what he talks about. And it's funny, he tried to get the South Park guys to do a little thing, and they didn't want to do it. So he kind of didn't want to look exactly like the South Park guys did it. And it was talking about, all the whites, especially when they got rid of slavery, like all the rebellion they're going to get killed, and they didn't do that. There was all this fear. And
so we have always just wanted a fair chance, right? Like I was going to say earlier that, Martin Luther King was fighting for civil rights, right? Mm-hmm. Think about that word civil. Mm-hmm. Civil is inclusive. It's everybody. It's rights for everyone. He didn't say he was fighting for black people's rights or colored people's rights or Negro rights or people of color rights. He said civil rights, the ability for everyone to have access to everything.
See, that's another thing. This America, Jack, that's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to cram religion down people's face. You're supposed to be able to do whatever the hell you want because this is America. Right. I don't care. As long as it's law-abiding, you're not hurting anybody, you can do whatever you want. You want to transition? And that's another thing. Now they're saying, well, he was in a relationship with a trans person who was transitioning. It was a male and female. Yeah. And there was someone in this friend's comment, like, did you see the latest? This didn't age too well. That, because my comment was like, where's the Fox News clips? This is all division. They're blaming it on the left and the trans, and it's all false. And I'm like, who cares who he's fucking? I could give a shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Like, they think they got you. Well, and I'm like...
Hold on, I just saw a thing. I think I screenshot it. I'll send it to you.
So dumb.
I saw I saw a clip, not a clip, but I saw oh shucks, I can't. Basically, I saw a thing that said, it talked about who watched the most trans porn, like the states that watched the most trans porn, where it was a search, it was a Google search for trans porn, and all the states were red states. Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. It was all red states. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. And I just heard or read a thing this morning about South Carolina is moving to ban abortion and all means of contraception. And they're saying that they're trying to pass a bill that would make abortion akin to murder, where you can be sentenced to 30 years if you if you perform an abortion for the doctors or if you get an abortion for the person. They are trying to take away our ability and our rights to be able to do and be whoever we want to be.
Yeah.
Right? So I live in this country, and the thing I love about this country is that it's a melting pot of people from different languages and different cultures and different ways of life. I love that there is a diversity of people and cultures and beliefs. I love that. On no level do I want it to all be the same. And none of us should be the same. That's why you have a variety of foods and a variety of clothing and a variety of music and a variety of homes and decor and whatever the case you may think of, because we are not a monolith. We are not all the same. So to try to come up with laws that make us all the same is against the nature of who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty soon they're going to say, well, if you're over 6 feet, then you don't fit. If you're over 200 pounds, you don't fit because we need to all be the same. Fuck out of here.
Yep. All right, so finally, this will be the last thing I say on the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Oh, yeah.
They talked to Trump, dude, and like, this is the thing. All these people, you're putting your faith in this fucking guy who doesn't give a shit about you or anyone.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
And so here we go. They ask him how he feels about losing his friend, Charlie Kirk.
My condolences to you, sir. My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years.
It's like, pat me on the back, we're doing the ballroom. He doesn't even give a shit.
How are you holding up with the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk? I think I'm doing pretty good, but that ballroom, have you heard about that?
You see that ballroom? I'm going to be dancing there one day.
It's an insult. I mean, here's a guy that they've talked about trying to put him up in the rotunda, and they want flags at half-mast, and they want to put his picture up somewhere, and Marjorie Taylor Greene suggested a statue, all this stuff, and the person who was supposed to be close to him and appreciate, because Charlie Kirk legitimately brought him a lot of the young white male votes, right? He brought him that, so he understands that, and so he was upset about Charlie Kirk when it happened. And then a day later, and they ask him, how's he holding up? He goes, pretty good. He goes, I think okay. So have you heard about this? But look at my ballroom. It's going to be gold. It's going to be gold walls, gold floors, gold ceilings. It's a joke. I hope, man, my hope is that we are able to, with all this gerrymandering and them trying to get more seats and trying to get more districts and whatever the case may be, I'm hoping that come November of next year, if we survive that long, that we can get some control, so we can push back against all this bullshit that they're doing, and then it's just an uphill battle for the next 3 years.
You know, Trump couldn't wait either to like announce that Charlie Kirk was dead. Like, he was the first one. He's like, I tweet it first, and then he announces it. And then when they get the guy, he goes, I have to go on Fox and Friends and break the news first. And he's like, we got him. And then he's just going off trailing about all this. He told somebody, he told someone, his dad, and then talked to him. Someone was very spiritual. Very spiritual.
Well, he's a joke, dude. But I'm hoping that we can get past this, and it's just going to be a dogfight for the next 3 years, and we can eventually vote him out. And then, personally, I pray that we go about the business of undoing every single fucking dumb bullshit thing that they have done. I'm talking about we get back into environmental climate.
Yeah, they just did that recently. That the factories don't even have to say what they're poisoning now.
Exactly. Like, we get EPA laws back in place, that we look into trying to suppress greenhouse emissions. We get back into electricity versus carbon fuels.
All greed, dude.
Right? Like, go green and give money back to institutions of higher learning, put money back into SNAP programs, put money back into AID. I legitimately would like for us to undo, because he's come in and all he's done is destroy. He hasn't built, hasn't created, hasn't.
Well, I heard he's got a ballroom coming.
He's got a fucking ballroom. Oh my God. And I'm telling you right now, that's all about him trying to stay in power so he can use his ballroom for the next 8 years, because he's 78. He'll be 79 next year.
No, he's 79.
Oh, he's 79 now. So like cognitive decline will kick in soon. He doesn't eat.
I mean, you see his face melting on the
Yeah, that's all bad.
9/11 thing.
He's legitimately trying to stay in power, and I'm hoping that
He's trying to put this mark on everything, man. It's an ugly gold
change
covered
putting his
mark.
right name on shit. Look, man, I'm just saying that I hope that we get back into power. Not we, but I hope that we get people into power
Who care
about the people.
Yes,
and we start to undo all this fascist or autocratic bullshit and get back to something that resembles normal. And maybe we do trim some things, right? We start hiring people. We start
try to unite
and get things back in order to some degree. Maybe government was way too big. Okay, so then you don't go from 100 people to 10 people. That's just not sustainable. So
here's another interesting
maybe we come back with like 50 to 75 or something.
Because of all the bust purges, the FBI was all in shambles, and like the person who was in charge in that section where the killing happened was, the guy who was before him was gone. So then Patel and all these people, so that's why there was, and then Patel fucking up big time, acting like they had him and they didn't. Like that guy's going to be in Congress this week. He's terrible. Like it's just, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then you decimated half of those government jobs, and then when you needed them, the killer got away from extra time than he had to.
Hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, they got rid of jobs with qualified people. And they put in unqualified.
They put in unqualified loyalists, who to me are spineless tools.
Yeah, people who do not deserve the position they're in. And let's be honest, Tyler Robinson, if he had a stronger constitution, like if he let his conscience get the best of him, he'd still be at large.
He just didn't confess to his dad.
Yeah, they didn't catch him. Understand this.
And then his dad had to talk to his priest to figure out what to do.
Well, his dad was a retired sheriff.
No, he wasn't. I heard. That's not accurate. I heard he was like, there was a different guy. That was a different guy with the same name. Okay. His dad was like, they were well off, decent, but his dad was like, it had something to do with like construction or interior design kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, either way it goes, they didn't catch him.
Placer.
They only got him because he turned himself in. Yeah, so if he doesn't say anything to
his dad recognized him on the picture. That was another thing. The picture could have been out earlier, but again, there was all this discord because Patel and the fucking Musk and them cut all the FBI jobs.
Yeah,
the government. It's just it's very frustrating.
Obviously, this kid was not. Like, he was not thinking about...
that's another thing, too. He's a kid. He's 22. He's right, reading this, you're gay, LMAFO. I mean, that's not a fucking case.
I saw something about that.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff with the video game and that whole right-wing... that's a whole other thing.
And those statements were all
from the video game. The group.
In the group.
So and that's the thing. It doesn't even matter. And that's the bottom line I was telling these guys, too. And they don't even want to understand it. You can say right way, left way, the percentages. It's easy access to guns is the bottom line. You let anybody have access to guns that easily.
Yeah.
And it's all young white males.
They were already in his house.
Yeah, they're hunters. They're all into it. You knew how to shoot from that distance. Come on. It doesn't, and that's the thing. It was this. Well, MAGA was in the home the whole time. His MAGA parents did. So what? You know what I mean?
I heard he went dressed up as
Trump for Halloween. Who knows? Like, who even knows? Yeah. Like, you see it, but it's like, just to say, well, because you did this or that, and this is why all these are bad, that's ignorant, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That's what we're at.
I'll wrap it up by just saying this. You hate to see anybody lose their life to violence. That's it. You don't want to see anybody lose their life to violence. Now, this is obviously a young man who was disturbed on some level because it's not normal behavior. But it was also the person who was targeted as a person who had some really strong opinions and ideas and beliefs. And he didn't show a lot of empathy for other people. I guess he showed some sympathy in some cases, but, he sowed a lot of division.
And that's,
so unfortunately it ended. I mean, the story would have been better if Charlie Kirk had lived, was alive, and had a chance to maybe possibly look at how his words impact other people. and maybe change his opinion and his ideas. I mean, hell, Malcolm X felt a certain way, and then he went to prison, right? I mean, Malcolm X felt a certain way, and then he felt a certain way, and then he went to prison, and then he came out. First he was Small. What's his? I forget his first name, but he was in Detroit and Chicago. He was a certain type of person. He went to prison.
He got Detroit Red.
Detroit Red.
Robin with Red Fox. Chicago Red.
Exactly. Chicago. Yeah, Detroit Red. He went to prison. He learned something new. He came out as a Muslim, and he got on a new platform, and he was affecting people, and he had one way of thinking. Then he went to Mecca, and at Mecca, his eyes were opened, and he realized, oh no, it's not just us against them. This is a whole world. We need to incorporate everybody. And he came back with a different perspective.
And I'll say this: even he, at that point, was still able to evolve in his views, because one of his one regret he's mentioned, I believe, in his biography, and they show it in the Malcolm X movie, is when he's on a college campus and a white girl comes up to him and asks, how can, liberal young white girl like her help his movement?
Right.
And he said, by doing nothing.
Right.
And then he did kind of regret that afterwards. And it's like, that's the thing, like division of any kind. It's unnecessary. It's all about coming together. And when, like you said, with that thing, when people talk smack, and then when you go, okay, I want all this smoke, what's up now?
Right.
People don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable.
I mean, ultimately, in the end, is I wish that he had lived, and I wish that he had the ability to change his mind, because he was able to affect a whole group, a whole generation of people to some degree. Not a generation, but a whole segment of society, that it would have been nice if he was able to have some experiences and to come back and say, you know what, maybe that wasn't cool. Maybe I don't feel this way about that now. Because he was still young. He was 31. He wasn't very well educated in the sense of a formal education. But how much more impactful would it have been if he were able to live and be able to maybe change his opinion and his views and impact some of those same people that he's affected in one way, to have them change their views too, right? But honestly, the way this country works and what we've seen historically is that anybody who is talking about coming together as one gets killed. Yeah. Whenever people talk about coming together, they get killed. Now, when they're talking that division shit, when they're talking about us against them, then the people at the top who benefit from that, right, the warmongers, they are the ones who allow that to continue. They're the ones who are not trying to, they're the ones who are trying to protect that. They want that division because it's easier to control a populace that's divided. But if we were to all come together and we start talking unity as one, then we have the numbers. And that's when they get worried.
Yeah, man, you all see Bugs Life, dude? You gotta watch Bugs Life. All the ants way outpowered the grasshoppers.
Yeah, exactly. It's true, though. It's true.
They're the facts.
I mean...
And, he even tells them, if those ants find out, they never know. It's 10 to 1.
10 to 1. When Malcolm X was talking about division, it was okay. They let him be. And then once he started talking about unity, you got to go. Martin Luther King was talking about unity and us coming together as one. And in order for us to do anything, everyone has to be involved. Because as people of color, we don't have all the means and access. But there are people who don't look like us that respect who we are and what we have and what we should have and what everyone should have. Those people in those positions will help out. And then once that starts happening, then they take you out. Right? It's like, JFK, he's talking about like people of color should be able to have jobs and be able to have equality.
But I even say that with the JFK, like the guy who killed him, Lee Harvey Oswald, he tried to kill the general 8 months earlier with the same gun, and who had completely opposite political views than JFK. Okay. So it kind of shows when you're at that point to willing to do this, you're not all there on what, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to get known, too.
Yeah.
And, like, you can say whatever you want, but it's like, that's part of it, man. No, they're not all there, so you can't say, oh, they're all like this. No, it's a separate outlier thing. And it's all, you got to make it harder for people with those tendencies to get friggin' weapons.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, anything else? Well, I can bitch about
this
the
whole
Browns,
thing
but
is
this is what it was. And you know, this is we got to meet up, which would be cool. But you have to talk. Everyone's talking about it, and now that you know, it's a gross time of what's happening.
Yeah, it's just there are a lot of feelings around it.
Firings.
I feel like the country's in a very strange and weird place.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we're all just trying to navigate, even whatever your political views may be. We're all trying to navigate this time of feeling like, what are we doing? Where are we headed? And what is it about? And who are we as a country? I think our identity is being challenged. I think who we are as people is being challenged. And you know, I think it's gonna take a lot of work to try to figure this whole thing out, man. I mean, it's some people are just holding on for dear life, and other people feel like I don't even know who's winning right now, right? Like I don't know if anybody's winning.
No, we're all losing.
We're all losing. Only people who are winning are the people at the top whose stock prices are going down, so they're buying up more of it, right? Like the whole world's on sale for them. But for the average Joe on the street, your gas prices, your grocery prices, the cost of living, the housing is going up, everything is going up. So I don't know who is benefiting from any of this.
Right.
Who's benefiting
It's
from
just
this?
chaos.
It's chaos. So.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Wrap us up, Reg. I don't, the Browns blew another one. Whatever. So yeah, wrap us up, and then I'll have to get to editing.
Okay. So, hey guys, we hope that you enjoyed today's episode.
We definitely have to talk to the camera now. We don't talk to each other.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode and that you got something beneficial from it. I know it was pretty intense, and I know some people are going to have some really strong feelings about some of the things that were said. And if you do, then that's okay, because that's what we're here for, is discourse, positive and negative. We can find some common ground and keep moving forward. Hopefully, if not, then that's just what it is. But
try and fire me, bitches. I ain't got no job anyway. Free speech, motherfuckers!
But if you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you think. And with that being said, that's Sal Kalani. I'm Reggie Steele. And this is Spitballin. Peace.